Go.
Hello, and we are Geeks Assembled.
Hello.
Yes, that's Susan over there, and I'm Lee. This week we are discussing a 1981 animated movie, and as I was just saying to Susan before we started record this, I've never heard of it before, don't know what it was about. I thought it was all about heavy metal music, heavy metal bands, but no, it's all based on stories in a magazine back in the day called Heavy Metal. So it's sort of an anthology movie. So there's about, I don't know, is it 5 stories, something like that, so put into one. Yes, I don't know what to make of this movie. Because as I said, I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, all I say, it's sci-fi, dark fantasy, a lot of erotica, or in my head, animated porn. It's a story about the substance of evil, which is in a green sphere.
It's a the enemy of the Santarans, the Rutans.
Well, it's giving out these stories to this little girl, and it's giving examples through these stories. Yes, so that's the opening take on this movie. So I'm going to go over to Susan now. Let's see what she has to say about heavy metal.
Okay. I really like it a lot. I think it's a really great movie.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
I enjoy this movie quite a bit. I love the storytelling in it. I love how the green goblin. See, here's what I think they mean by heavy metal in this, and in the books probably, because you can kind of read into it, is that it's about heavy metal spaceships or heavy metal being part of that orb thing. Like that's a heavy metal thing that carries within it all this evil, but it's not preachy evil. It's like how much destruction can it cause. It's actually more chaos and like how everything changes form, like all these sort of villagers end up in a soup of it with it, and they all turn green and they start killing each other and killing the other stuff that's on the and kind of formulate a plan to overturn the situational hierarchy, which is there to protect them from the screen globule stuff. It's just amazing. And then there's the scene with the happy flying spaceship with the drug addicts at the wheel, which was great. Like taking titanium or what was it? No, neutronium, and cutting it into lines using a sort of a lawn equipment, actually, where it just distributes these lines nicely and neatly and evenly, and it just drives out all over the spaceship, dropping that stuff or the cockpit, because basically that's what it was a place where these two guys with these huge long schnozzes snort massive amounts of neutronium product in lines. It was very, very triggering for someone who's done a bit of coke in my life, and it was amazing. So that was fun. And like the other thing that was really great was the soundtrack. I mean, like the background music is rocking. It's really fun. And part of the reason that the second one maybe didn't get as high of remarks was because the music is not heavy metal. It's more grunge and alternative and thrash and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but anyway. And yes, there was a lot of naked people in it, and but they never actually showed the sexual intercourse. So like, it missed out by being hentai by that much. That's as much as it that well. All right, it's a very small line, very small piece of separation between this and hentai, and like that's the cool thing is like there was, yeah, it was something that was like really delightful for your eyes or for your acid trip or for your mushrooms or for what other peyote you've taken or whatever. So it was very nice, but it's also really it's kind of it's got a crazy sort of energy to it too. It kind of like gets you, a bit zingy by the time you're done watching it. It's just fun. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my opening thoughts on the whole state of affairs of heavy metal. And anyway, back over to you, Lee. What do you think? What I mentioned some of my favorite parts. What about you?
Well, as I mentioned before we started, yes, there is heavy metal in this, and there's a few well-known groups providing music with this. But the music is overshadowed by the storytelling. Yes, Blue Oyster Cult is in there. Who else is in there? Is it Nazareth and?
Yeah, Nazareth.
Yeah.
Just looking Donald Fagen.
Yeah. Journey's in there.
Journey.
Who else? Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick, yeah.
There's quite a few well-known names. Sammy Hagar.
Sammy.
They're all a Devo.
Oh, lots of Devo, yeah. Those.
Black Sabbath. I did read that a segment was removed. What used Pink Floyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think that was put on the DVD as an extra.
All right. Well, I haven't looked through the extra bits yet. I just watched the movie. Movie.
The music is overshadowed by the action happening in the thing, so it's really there. But if you pay more attention to what's going on the screen, you don't really hear the music, which is a shame. But the animation. It reminds me of the late 70s animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah. That's a good analogy or a good.
Yeah, I was watching it because I'm positive that animation was like live action, but then animated over, and I'm sure there's some segments in this what are like that.
Yeah, well, there is a live action part of the credits which has to do with perhaps the rotoscoping or whatever.
Yeah. And they say the story.
You are talking rotoscoping. You are talking about taking a motion picture, a movie, and then showing it frame by frame and cutting, like doing sort of a stencil of that, and then painting over that stencil, right?
Yeah. It's that sort of feel I got from that, like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's a good connection right there.
I mean, I do love anthology stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I love Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone. I love all them sort of anthology things. And a movie what does anthology stories is fine by me because I love all them old horror movies with anthologies in it. And so as it goes from story to story, I was enjoying that. There's some stories I enjoyed more.
Yeah, sure. Tell me which ones you enjoyed more.
Well, I was just going to say, any chance that a woman wanted to get her breasts out, she did.
Yeah, this one especially. Yes, this one especially. And when she's white haired and you could, it's pretty funny because her pubes are the same color as her hair.
Yeah.
Here's to growing old gracefully, eh?
Well, yeah, disgracefully. Let's have a look. I'm just looking at some of the stories in here. I mean, the Harry Canyon one with the taxi driver.
Huh?
I was watching that and I was just thinking, it's sort of like Fifth Element.
Uh-huh. Fifth Element
Um,
seems to be lifted sort of kind of in no small way right out of this.
Yeah. Right now, the taxi driver that he fallen in love with the redhead. She's in
Quite
trouble.
right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was quite an interesting story. I did love the way he got rid of all the people that wouldn't pay the fares. And what's the next story?
Hit the red button. Hit the red button.
And then there was the story Den, where this young kid, he gets transported through wherever, through a wormhole or where, and ends up in this strange world in a different, bigger, better body. And it's all to do with this green sphere of evil.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some good,
The bloody Routines again.
yeah. One of my favourite ones was Captain Stern, where this space captain was on trial. That was real funny. What else have we got? Neverwhere Land. Neverwhere Land was the segment taken out.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then you've got B-17, the warplane. That is an amazing segment. Just how these pilots and that are all shot dead in the plane, and all of a sudden the essence of evil arrives and brings them back from the dead. Which was the animation in that. Just you can't beat a World War II zombie on a plane.
I know.
Oh, that's an idea for a movie. There, zombies on a plane.
Yeah.
So beautiful and so dangerous is the aliens, drug snorters.
So fun.
And robot sex.
Yeah, and robot sex. The robot's actually bragging about sex, sexual prowess.
A little arm though, after they've had sex, and she's walking and she's, I can't remember. Are you circumcised? And then you've got the sex with Tana, with the warrior riding a giant bird, defeating all these forces of evil. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's different. I didn't know what to expect, and also as well, the animation sort of reminded me of. Do you remember the early '80s pinball machines? The artwork on them.
Yeah.
So similar.
True.
So so well done.
And did you like the I mean, the colors that they used were just, super bright, super flashy. It was the most interesting thing to look at. And that is why you kind of lose the music in the background, because what's going on in front of your eyes is enough to take up all of your enjoyment space in your head. It is. And the go ahead.
No, as I say, the animation isn't what people watch today. It's a classic type of animation. It's just wonderful. Hand drawn, not computer. It's not computer generated.
No.
It's and as you say, the colours and everything stand out so out from the screen. And as well, to add to that, you've got some brilliant voice actors in this, or actors doing voice acting. Who have you got? You've got John Candy. Was Harold Ramis in this as well?
Yep.
There's some other people. I'm just trying to. I mean, John Candy, you could hear straight away. Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
In there. So there's a few well-known names in this. So, and John Vannan, brilliant actor who always used to play villains. He was in this as the prosecutor. So anything else you want to put forward for this?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the actors who are involved in it were quite quite amazing, picked well, and there. I mean, I think that some of it was like animated by Japanese artists or whatever, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it had Richard Romanus as Harry Kenyon, Joe Flaherty as the lawyer and as Captain Stern. Captain Stern was done by John Can. Oh, no, wait. That was, hang on a second.
Was it
That was Eugene Levy who did that. And I mean, there was Jackie Burroughs, Marilyn Lightstone, John Vernon also. And Carolyn Semple was the little girl in it, and Susan Roman. I mean, just Al Waxman. It was amazing, and one of the visual artists for this thing was a guy by the name of Colin Baker, who we're going to talk about, a different guy named Colin Baker in my next podcast. But I just had to squish that in there because, when I was watching the credits, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's a Colin Baker in this. We accidentally had another sort of, synchronicity in our podcasting this weekend. But yeah, that would, the visual artists were amazing. The colorists, the line drawers were amazing. The people who did the rotoscoping. I mean, and then like the stories itself. I love the bats versus the birds. I thought that was a really, really cool sort of fight scene. And then like the other when they're landing the spaceship high on drugs and they kind of run into the side. It felt a bit like what's it called? Galaxy Quest. Anyway, there it is. There's a Galaxy Quest drop in. Yeah, they were like that was really amazing. And they were running into the side of the spaceship and the door. They crunched the door frame. They slid in too fast. And the whole time, that little spaceship with green eyes and this great big huge smile, like it was just like this happy, super happy spaceship. We were flown by two completely blotto, way out there, drugged up pilots. Oh, that was so fun. And like the fact that their noses were these just long proboscises and stuff. It was they were perfectly designed for snorting neutronium nitrate or whatever it was. It was so good. And I'm really glad that we watched it because I'm just gonna watch the next one pretty soon. And I think that we should review the Heavy Metal 2000, because even if it was panned, even if it went down in flames, it's fun to have like the comparison, and so that would be great.
Okay, hopefully soon we'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking here. Rotoscoping, yeah, it was used. The B-17 bomber was shot using a 10-foot replica. Tana, the Terrakian, was rotoscoped.
Yeah.
So she was a real person. So those breasts were real.
Oh. Obviously shot with a younger actress because there was no sagging involved.
A Toronto model.
Like I was saying, she must have been a younger lady, because even though she had the character had this silver hair and then like silver everything else. This was not the kind of body that hair went with.
And also, as well, the segment with the taxi driver and all that was set in the year 2031.
I know, that's just coming up like next week.
I don't think we'll be having flying cars and stuff like that by then.
They had such high hopes for us. Oh my gosh, our parents and stuff. They just thought we would have the coolest stuff ever.
And it's several different animators did the different sections. So you're right there. There's different animators. I don't think there's any. I can't see any Japanese there, but
all right, maybe that was all in the other one. Okay, anyway, so just forget I said that.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll just have a look. It doesn't.
This is just any... like our Buck Rogers review last week. Where I had watched the first one, and so I'd put the two together, sort of squished them together in my mind. Yeah, just forget I ever said about the anime, like the Japanese animators. Forget about it. Just forget. I didn't say it.
Oh dear me. So yeah, it was. So as I said, I didn't know what to expect from the movie, but once it started and I realised it's an anthology, I was well into it. And it was at 90 minutes long.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it went really quick, but for an animated movie, 90 minutes long back in 1981, it was quite long.
Huh.
So, but it flew by, because you say you were just watching what was happening on the screen. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So, anything else we'd like to say before we go to final say and score?
They if they did that in the old school style, of course it would take forever to even create it, because there each section or each second of motion pictures was 24 frames, and then you'd imagine that they do 2 or 3 at a time with a held image and just some blurs on the middle ones. But it's just so much, takes so much talent and so much energy to create the animation in the old style. I mean, to me it's just amazing. I did a 50-second piece that took us 3 months to animate and put the audio to.
Bloody hell.
I know, it, like in film school, like that was one of our tasks. We used an optical printer and celluloid animation pieces of celluloid animation art media thing. Anyway, that you put on a camera, or that you put on a light box and then have a camera shooting down at it, and you just change it to do each one. Click, flip, 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 click. And it just takes a long time, because the background can be the same, but the foreground, if it's moving, oh my gosh, it just takes so much time.
Well, it's a lot of sweat and tears.
Yes, quite.
Yeah. So what would you give it then?
For me, it's a 10. 10 happy spaceships out of 10. I think it's amazing. I think that the juxtaposition is also, just one more thing, the juxtaposition with the happy spaceship with these drugged out pilots was like the actual antithesis of the green evil energy blob, the Rutan or whatever. Because I mean, here was happy spaceship, and like there was like kill them. Yeah.
All right. I enjoyed it. as I say, there were some segments I enjoyed more than others. So for just that reason, and of course the music was overshadowed, I'm going to give this 8.5 rotoscoped butt cheeks out of 10.
There you go.
It's an enjoyable movie. It really is. I do recommend it. If you guys out there haven't seen this, give it a chance. If the title puts you off because I don't like heavy metal music, don't worry.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. The heavy metal music's there, but the story and the action sees you through it. So that is our little review of Heavy Metal from 1981. I'd like to thank Susan for sitting down this week and watching it. And thank you for introducing it to me.
Yeah, sure. My pleasure.
I was a heavy metal virgin.
Yep.
So, and now I am no longer. You guys out there, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if you'd like to join the group.
That'd be fun.
Please get in touch. Leave a message on a YouTube video or on Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. All we ask of you is to be 18 plus with a PC, laptop, tablet, even a mobile phone with a working microphone and camera.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get you in. We do need some new faces because it has been several months now, just me and Susan holding the fort.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is gone out there and got a life, I think. But hey ho, you never know. You might see an old familiar face pop up every now and again. But we'd like to see some new faces. So, and also as well, when you do subscribe to our YouTube channel, the bell notification button, please press that, and you'll get notified every time we put up a video. It sounds somewhat like that, but our button on the YouTube channel is more well-oiled than Susan's bell there. She's not denying it.
Right.
So
It's a happy spaceship.
jeez. Oh dear me. See, someone's happy. So
Zoom. Zoom.
So until next time, please be safe. And I'll leave the ending to Susan. Over to you, Susan.
Zoom. Zoom.
Oh.